I got these cases to see afore lunch. I want to get it done quick. We all got Christmas shopping to do, I expect. Ah, I see we got the usual batch from up the Hairdrome. Are you feeling cold, soldier?
Your Honour, it's enough to freeze the balls of a...
What he means, Your Honour, is that he finds the English climate particularly inclement at this time of year.
The sooner they send you lot back to the Hanty-Poides, the better for all concerned.
What a wowzer!
What's that? I'll remind you that this is a court of law. We've had just about enough of you lot. You can't even let your daughters out at night anymore. It's time you was all transportised back to where you come from. Right, case 1. Indecency in a public place. Have you got anything to say for yourselves?
Begging your pardon, Judge, but it was armistice night.
I don't care what night it was. That don't give you the right to go urinating off the top of public buildings. This leaves a very nasty taste in my mouth. One would be bad enough, but 6 of you, at the same time, directly into the town fountain? Anyone would think it were put there for your convenience. I'm astonished that visitors to our shores can show such contemptuosity. Fined 5 shillings each or 5 days at Gloucester. Right, what's next? Air Mechanic Victor Walsh, AFC Minchinhampton Hairdrome. Given the time of year, it's predictable, I suppose. Chicken rustling at Cowcombe Farm. Caught red-handed in the coop, but accomplices escaped on bicycles. Without lights. I suspect a foul conspiracy, yer. Anything to say?
Please, Your Grace, I was trying to stop the theft. I just happened to be passing when I heard the chooky squawking and discovered the intruders. It wasn't me, I swear.
Well, that's a good one. This takes the Huntley and Palmer. That's the best I've heard since Dan Leno played the Empire. Just because we live in the country don't mean we're all parish bred, you know. 5 shillings or 5 days.
I'll take the money.
Hey! That's enough of that. Well, this'll make you laugh. I changed my mind. 10 shillings or 10 days. Right, next. Mr. Ernest Pope, Pear Cottage, Chalford Hill. Theft of garment belonging to HM Forces. A bona fide Englishman at last. Right. Well, we've had too much of this sort of thing. Anything to say?
No.
Well, do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, I suppose.
Oh, guilty you suppose, do you? Well, let me tell you that I take...
Your Honour.
And who might you be?
Second Lieutenant Geoffrey Rylands, AFC, sir.
Another of the funny app brigade, eh? Well, spit it out.
This boy has been gassed and still suffers because he fought for his country. The shirt's been returned, no harm done. Can't you go easy on an old soldier?
I didn't come down in the last shower, you know. We've had too many of these cases. We've had boots left on feet what should have been handed back, trousers, kit bags, and now shirts. All King's property. It's no good you ex-soldiers thinking the world owes you a living. We're all very grateful for what you did out there, but the war's over now, time to get back into line. It's plain theft, 30 shillings or a month at Gloucester, and a Merry Christmas to you all.
Where am I going to find £1.10?
Well, you should have thought of that before. Take him down, Sergeant.
How you holding, Dick?
I'll split the Oscar with you, mate. Hey, Benny. Over here. Prezi for you, mate.
What's this, son? Christ almighty, it's one of them chickens you swiped.
Well, I managed to chuck one under the hedge before they dragged me off. It was still there when I went back for it.
Call that justice? I couldn't give a dump for it.
Any more of that and you'll be on the wagon to Gloucester,
Come
my
on,
lad.
Jeff! Merry Christmas, your worship!
And you can tell the king to stick his shirt right up his royals! Afraid it's a homemade one, Mrs. Pope, but it comes with my best regards.
Oh, what is it?
'Tis a boomerang, ma'am. You throws it in the air and it flies round and comes back to you.
Oh, that'll be handy then.
It's got something written on it. Jeff have burned them letters into it. It says, to the Pope family of Chalford, from 2nd Lieutenant Jeff Rylands, 5th Squadron, AFC, Christmas 1918.
The Pope family, oh, that's nice. That's lovely. Oh, that's real nice. And him's beautifully carved too now. Where shall I put him?
I see another one of your airy planes crashed up at Minch. What I do want to know is how come you're still flying them now it's all over?
The blokes get restless with nothing to do. so the old man put us back on training. Good thing, in my opinion. You never know when it might be needed.
You don't think them Germans are starting up again?
No, Mrs. Pope. I reckon it'll take the boss 100 years to get back on their feet. I was meaning for us. Australia's a big country, a lot of coastline to guard. Aeroplanes is the answer, I reckon.
That what you reckon?
It stands to reason.
When you lot going back home, then?
No, I don't know. Not enough ships to take us all, that's the trouble.
Yeah, I found plenty when there was a war on, though, didn't I?
But the boys don't like this hanging round. They want to go home.
That why they're running down all the dogs, then?
Pardon?
Your lorries do go too fast down Chalford Hill. Any dog as gets in the way's a goner. It's a wonder there's any dogs left alive. I must think they're them dingoes or something. Tis all in the journal.
Yeah, that bloody journal.
That'll be the transport boys looking for a good time.
Good time.
What I mean is
Good time. I give 'em a good time. If running down dogs is their idea of having a good time, then the sooner they do go back home, the better. Hardly saw motors in Stroud before you lot come. What's wrong with horse and cart to get around on?
We never won the war without machines.
Did I say something to thee?
Oh, once more custard.
Never thought I'd see a son of mine up in front of a magistrate. You was all brung up proper. 'Tis all in the journal.
Famous at last.
I get you bloody famous.
That's enough. I don't want to hear it no more. Him shouldn't never have had to go to court. Not for that. Him didn't know the shirt had to go back.
Didn't know.
I don't care whether him dead or him didn't. Him's here with us. That's all I care about. Now, would anybody like more custard? Mr. Rylands?
Call me Jeff, Mrs. Pope.
Jeff. Oh, goodness me, your plate be empty. Have a drop more.
I don't think so. I'm absolutely stonkered, Mrs. Pope.
That's what I like to hear.
Tanks.
What?
Tanks is a weapon of the future. Tanks and gas.
Gas? Dunno. Filthy stuff. That's one thing even the Turks wouldn't use.
You know what they wrote on my papers when they chucked me out? Suffered mild gassing. Mild, mine. It was only like having your inside scraped out with sandpaper.
Talk about something nice, will ya?
What was it like where you was, Jeff? In the Dardanelles?
Oh.
I was hit by a bullet there.
A bullet in the Dardanelles, eh? Very painful.
We used to collect souvenirs, you know, spent shells and fuses to take home with us. We were in a place called Shell Green. That's what we called it anyway. We were rummaging around one day when Jacko sent over some shells, and me mate, Jim Carter, got a clout from a falling fuse. I thought he'd copped it, and I ran over to him, but apart from being a bit stunned, he was Jake, hardly a scratch on him. I said, "You want the fuse, Jim?" He said, "What do you think I stopped it for?"
Where's your friend now, then?
Jim. Last time I saw Jim was at Wipers in some Anzacs soup.
No chance of you staying on in these parts then, Jeff? Don't like our weather, is that it?
Well, it's definitely warmer in New South Wales.
Do they have Christmas down under?
Do they have Christmas down under? Ma'am, you're a soppy apron.
Oh, yeah, we have all the same things as you have over here, you know. Lanterns, Christmas trees.
Honey, you calling me a soppy apron? That's what our Ivor used to... Oh. Sorry we haven't got a tree this year. Didn't seem right somehow, what with one thing and another.
Oh, Ma'am.
Well, I don't know what our visitor must think of us. Have another mince tart then, Annie. Pop one on his plate, there's a good girl.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what our manners is coming to, I don't.
Very nice tucker, Mrs. Pope. Very nice indeed. Of course, we'd be having it outside at home. Maybe even down on the beach.
You mean like a sort of picnic?
Yeah, sort of.
Eating outside, like?
Hear that, Dad? It's so hot they have their Christmas dinner outside on the beach.
That's what savages do, isn't it?
Ma'am? Dad? Jeff had something he wanted to say to you both.
What, now? Oh, well, I suppose now's as good a time as any. The thing is, I reckon it'd be a good idea if Annie and I got married. If that's all right with you.
There's a turnout for the book. Well, I never did. You never said, Annie.
Oh, that's good then.
And when might you be perpetuating this act?
I beg your pardon? Oh, I see. Well, I thought we'd get spliced in January, and then as soon as they find us a ship, Annie and I could go back together.
You don't mean...
What in the name of graces is going on here now?
Ernie!
Coming back? Who the hell's that?
You're coming, Ernie! Oh, I've done told you Christmas to everyone. Is everybody happy? A few of the lads from the drone going for a spin. They work off the old Christmas put, you know? Oh, pardon me.
Ma'am,
Hey.
Dad, this is a... Oh,
Come
come
on.
on,
Where's he going?
Sorry about Vic. He's a bit of a cot case, I'm afraid.
Now then, what's all this about you running off to Australia with my daughter?
I reckon she'll be better off out there.
Oh, you do you? Well, let me tell you this, young man. The day she walks out of that door is the... That's your bloody lot again!
Frank, behave yourself!
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, Dad.
You come back here! This Christmas Day, for Christ's sake!
Keep a nose off Barney! Good on you, mate! For bloody glass!
Oh, you missed that tree by then!
Still can't see how they stay up there.
You fancy it going, one?
As long as I can keep one foot in the ground.
When are you going to take me up again, then, Beck?
What's this?
Nothing, Jeff.
Have you been given joyrides?
It was only the once.
You got kangaroos in your top paddock or what?
Jeff, he's a mate.
Those crates are friggin' lethal. Jesus.
He's a mate. He asked me.
Fine, mate, you are. Bloody stupid prick. Do you know what you could have done? You could have killed him. Do you know that, Vic?
He's one of us. He wants to be an Aussie.
You're a friggin' shingle short, you are. You're pissed out of your brain half the time. No wonder the bloody planes keep coming out of the sky. Oh,
Jesus, he's old enough to make up his own mind. Besides, he's coming back home with us.
What's that?
what have you been telling him?
Did you just say he's going back with you?
They're giving away farm blocks to returned servicemen. They're looking for blokes like him and me. They'll
Ernie,
take him. He's one of us.
is this true?
He's coming back again.
Answer me, Ern!
Oh, Christ, he's too bloody low. He's off his perch.
He'll come with guts, or I know it.
He's trying to hit that tree again.
Pull back, Barney! Barney! Pull it back! Lift the tail, for Christ's sake! Need it too bloody low!
Accidentally killed while flying. If I read that again, I'll go nuts.
How many is that now, Toby?
33.
Can't blame yourself.
I'll tell that to Barnes.
Barney was a hothead. He'd spent Christmas morning at the George, got all tanked up and went for a joyride, stupid bastard.
It's one thing to lose men under intensive training in the middle of a war, but 3 months after it's all over, how can I justify that?
He was bored. We're all bored, for Christ's sake.
It's time we went home. We're not needed any longer.
I reckon the Poms are well cheesed off with us by now.
Oh, not all of them. I've made some good friends here.
That we're still just a bunch of roughnecks to them. Fight their war and bugger off home quick. No matter what we do, we'll always be upstart colonials. Time you went home too, where they appreciate you.
Oh, back to old Bill Gola. Is it still there, I wonder?
And I want an invite for a long weekend as soon as we get back.
Long weekends with nothing to do, eh? You know, I'm not sure I like the idea of that. A war gives you something to live for in a funny sort of a way. When you're not too busy getting killed. Remember that Canberra show? Oh, the tanks did all right. But 18 of us flew out of that airfield, and only 6 came back.
Well, we got our Guernseys, didn't we? What more do you want?
Boys. They were just boys that had no life.
I tell you this, you did bloody good by them boys, Toby. You always put their safety first, and there was a few chinless wonders that didn't go along with that. Most of them sat safely behind desks.
Which is exactly what I'm doing now. One thing about the war, at least, it was never boring. By the way, the Pommies are giving us all the spare machines to take back with us. A gift from a grateful government.
What's that? 50 camels, a dozen or so Avros, and a few Harry Tates? Hardly worth shipping them.
Don't knock it, it's a start. What's happened here in the last 14 months? That's the makings of an Aussie Air Force.
Job for you there.
No more uniform for me.
They'll need you back home.
They'll have to do it without me.
What's going to happen to the boys? They'll need jobs. I reckon nobody will give a toss about them once they get back. You could help them with your poke.
Maybe. We'll see. Look, get under your so-called entertainments committee, will you? Tell them the old man needs cheering up. Tell them to put on a show and make him laugh. Tell them it's the last one they'll ever do. They're going home. We're all going home.
Is that dinkum oil you're giving me?
May the 6th. It's official. War Office telegraphed me. Here it is.
Well, why the bloody hell didn't you say so before?
Yeah. We're all going home. All except Barnes. And Allen and Banksmith and Bueland and Cubbins and Clutterbuck and Davis and Dunn and Filmer. 2nd Air Mechanic Frederick, 2nd Lieutenant Fry, Corporal Jeffries.
Warrant Officer Keane, MC. And Lewis, McGuffey, Needham, Parks, Pillow, Scott, Shepherd, Stronach, Thompson, Walsh, Weingart.
Altogether, they buried 24 Australians up in that field, and about 10 more in churchyards near where they came down. We all went to the big service up there. Must have been 1,000 people. All the graves was laid out with yellow flowers. Hundreds of daffodils. Oh, they dazzled you. A yellow blanket draped over the boys who'd never be going back home. Poppies they have, don't they? For the boys who died in France. Well, it was daffs for the Anzacs who died over the Cotswold Hills. I kept thinking about their mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters scattered all over Australia who couldn't be there. I was housemaid again by then. The war was over, so they didn't want no more bullets and bombs. So we girls was giving our notice, just like that.
That's it then. We've got 3 weeks left, then down to Southampton on May 6th.
3 weeks?
So it's now or never. You've put me off long enough, Annie. I need to know.
That's it then, is it?
It's not too late. We can still get married.
Oh, I can't leave our mum just now, Jeff. If our Ernie goes and I go, she won't have no one left. It'd be like I was dead.
It's your life we're talking about.
Jeff, the people are good here. They gave me my job back at the manor.
For the love of God, Annie, make a break for it. Tell those stuck-up snobs to stick their job up.
That's your answer to everything, isn't it? For God's sake, it may be a dead and alive hole to you, but it's my home.
A land fit for heroes. That's what they promised when it was all over, didn't they? But it was a con from start to finish. I've seen the way they do it over here. I've seen right through the whole sordid business. Some people made a packet out of the war while schoolboys were being butchered. Well-heeled ladies with time on their hands knitted so many pairs of socks and then patted each other on the back and got on with their bridge. I suppose they thought we'd been sent out there to learn French. And look at the way they're looking after their brave Tommies. Where's the houses for heroes? Where's the jobs? Oh, they better look after the diggers better than that when we get back, or there'll be hell to pay.
Oh, I bet there will.
A fair go. That's what you're entitled to. But you won't get it over here in this old country. They'll carry on in the same old way because it suits them better to keep you down. You'll still be doffing your lids and tugging your forelocks to them 100 years from now. What the hell did your Ivor die for?
Are you saying he died for nothing?
No, I only meant...
Because if that's what you're saying, you can bugger off now. Do you hear me? Do you? I won't ever let anyone say a word against what he fought for. Or our Ernie. They fought for their country and was proud of it, and that's it and all about it.
We were proud too, for Christ's sake. We came 15,000 miles for you, didn't we? We were the 6 bob a day tourists, weren't we? Some holiday that turned out to be.
You're saying it was all a mistake?
Of course it was a mistake. You can't get away from that, Struth. There'd never be any peace if we didn't hang on to that.
What about you and me, Jeff? That a mistake too?
That depends.
Oh, it depends now, does it?
It depends on whether you care enough to pack your bags and come home with me.
Oh! Do you believe in God, Jeff?
What?
Do you?
What kind of question is that?
Well, answer me this. Who's going to forgive our sins if there ain't no God?
The only sin I'm guilty of is joining in with that sordid mess. Sin? God? Annie, there were padres out there handing out fags and damn near pushing blokes over the top to get their heads blown off. Was God telling them to do that? Look up there. Do you know, some people believe there's life up there.
Well, what difference does it make what's up there?
What difference?
Well, it don't put food in your belly.
You know what the Aborigines called the first settlers? The fallen stars. They just fell out of the sky, according to them. And all my mates lying up in that field, they fell out of the sky. They're fallen stars, all right. And I could have been one of them. I'm lucky. I'm alive. I'm alive, and I owe it to myself to get some joy out of my life.
What about everyone else, Jeff?
What are you getting at?
Oh, I wanted to tell you later. May as well know now. There could be another little Geoffrey on the way.
No. Struth. Straight up.
Oh, no mistake.
Oh, if it was rain and pea soup, I'd have a friggin' fork in my hand.
Oh, it's no good looking up there, Jeff. Nothing up there to help you. If you just think about it, doesn't matter where you live. If you bugger it up here, you bugger it up everywhere.
Annie! Annie!
Machine going up, she goes. Up she goes. Balance herself like a bird on a beam in the air. She goes. Then she goes. Up, up, a little bit higher. Oh my, the moon is on fire. Come Josephine in my flying machine going up. All on goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for our special guest in the line-up there, Ernie Pope from Chalford. Oh, isn't he a beauty in that frock? Yes, I know we don't normally have poms in the show. Come to think of it, how did he get in there? As you know, this will be our very last show here at your beautiful subscription rooms. We're all packed and ready to hump our blueies back to the other side of the world. Oh. Well, it was a long and bloody stoush that finally put the kibosh on the Kaiser, as they say. But it was a job well done. Yay! And if you ever need us again, folks, Australia will be there. And now, my lords, ladies and gentlemen, and the rest of you, our scene changes to the great dromes of the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th squadrons of the mighty AFC. To the tiny villages of Minchinhampton and Lighterton, perched high in the rolling hills of Gloucestershire. Ladies and gentlemen, a little sketch now. The AFC meets the RAF, the Diggers meet the Poms.
That's a lovely dress you're wearing, darling. What's your name?
Is he talking to me? I told you not to wear it outside.
What do you say, beautiful? I'm offering you a night out in Stroud Town with all the trimmings.
Oh, Christ. Do you mean it?
Yeah, the lot.
Buy me a bag of chips.
Anything you want.
Mushy peas.
Anything.
Where are you taking me then?
Well, darling, that's up to you, but I promise you'll get a big Aussie surprise.
Oh, you might get a big urn back.
Come on, then.
Whoa! Hey, hang on a mo.
Blimey, oh friggin' Riley! Well, I'll be buggered.
You will be if you hang around, mate.
You're a pair of bastard tonks.
Get on out of it before I lay one on you.
Yeah, pair of
Get on now.
I see him go.
It's off like a bride's nightie.
I should think he'll give up wenches after tonight.
Did you see his face?
He was just about to give me a kiss.
Well, I don't blame him if I didn't know you as a bloke. I reckon I'd fancy you.
Don't make me laugh, Vic.
You're a bad influence on me, Ernie boy.
Ooh, fancy a drop more rat poison?
If there's any more of your rat's poison, you'll have to put me in the dead house. Still, let it not be said that a digger couldn't take his liquor, eh? Ernie, me mate, I got a nice little crate, all nicely rigged up by my own fair hands. And you know something, Ernie?
No, what?
I'd like to share it with you. Tonight's a full moon, perfect night for flying. You and me, up there, and I ain't a pom and all that, but you're me mate, me pommy mate.
You sure it's all right?
Hell yes! Everyone's either at the show or grugged up to the armpits. No.
You can count me in then.
I'm glad to hear it, Ernie boy, because you and me, we're going to be cockies together.
Cockies?
Would you do me a favour, mate? Would you get rid of that dress? How can I take you seriously as a fellow cocky when you're dressed up like a prosy?
Vic?
Yes, mate.
What's a cocky?
Well, there's wool cockies, there's spud cockies, there's wheat cockies, and then there's cow cockies. And that's me. It's what I should have stayed, too. Out bush. I've been a complete dill on this job.
Oh,
That's better.
Too fond of me grog. I never told anyone this before, but you, me mate, I want to tell you what I've done.
Ooh, what have you done, Vic?
Well, I didn't do, more like it. I didn't check them drift wires on Ocky's machine.
Your friend that was killed, so?
So that's what holds the friggin' aeroplane together. That tension in them wires is what stops the wings coming apart. They're too tight, soon as it gets up speed in a dive, they'll snap away from the fuselage. And if they're too loose, the vibration will cause them to fold up and buckle. Half an inch makes all the difference.
Which was this then?
What?
Well, which was this? Tight or loose?
I don't know. I don't know because I never looked. I never checked them out. I never checked them out. Had my nose in a bottle, didn't I?
Come on. Can't blame yourself.
I killed him. Sure as hell I killed him. Well, I think about Ocky a lot. One minute he's up there, sailing along like a bird, free and easy. The next moment he's got broken wings and he's falling like a sack of spuds. Falling out of the sky. What I want to know is what was Ocky thinking about in those last few seconds before he hit the ground.
Can't do nothing about it, can he?
You know, Ernie, you're a real philosopher, you are. Can't do nothing about it, can he?
He was thinking, oh, bloody strangle that bastard, Vic. He forgot to tighten my wires.
But he can't do nothing about it, can he?
Hey, there was a war on. Lots of blokes copped it, didn't they? That's past now. You've got to forget about it. Got to think about the future now.
You're a bonzer bloke, Ernie. Come on now. Let's visit the stars.
Oh, you sure this is all right?
No worries. You trust your Uncle Vic. Come on now, the night's a pup. You ready for it? Stick these goggles on, you can swing the prop.
Vic?
What, me old cocky?
The wires. Did you check the wires?
What kind of a bastard do you take me for? Come on now. Come, Josephine, in my flying machine going up she goes. Up she goes.
Oh, there you are, running off like that.
Want to ring back, Jeff?
What a mess.
That what you call it?
Who the hell's up at this time of night?
Oh, I should have listened to our mam. You men want the one thing and one thing only.
I don't understand. It's not like you think. I'll look after you. The kid? What do you take me for? It's just all the plans. I thought I had it licked.
You're not going back?
I gotta think about it.
Oh, don't do me any favours, Jeff.
Look, I'll marry you. What more do you want?
What more do I want?
Oh, what I mean is...
Don't need to tell me what you mean, I know. Well, Geoffrey Rylands, I should have listened to our mam, because I don't need you. And you can keep your bloody ring.
That's typical of you bloody English. That's it. Run away, run away.
What do I care? Life's too short, for Christ's sake. It's too bloody short.
Bloody hell. Vic! Vic! What are you doing, mate? Don't be a stupid bastard! Whee! Give us some good, Vic! Put your straps on! What's that? I can't hear you! I said put your straps on! I can't hear you! I'm gonna turn her over! What? No, wait till I'm strapped in, for God's sake! You ready? This is a good thing, Vic! It's bloody amazing! Wait for it! No! I like it! Do it again! We're gonna get some height now! Hold on!
Been to the concert, have you?
Been out walking.
Oh, walking? Is that all?
Where's our mam?
Never you mind.
Is she all right?
Never mind about your mother. To see I've been waiting up for.
Oh, yes? What's the matter, then?
God! I'm feeling sick! Give us another turn! Oh, chunder all over Stroud!
I got a right gaggle of geese, haven't I?
What?
The only decent one out of the lot of you's got 6 foot of clay pressing him down.
Dad!
We got no room for whores and slatterns under this roof. Now you can take yourself and whatever baggage you got stowed away under that dress and get out of this house. What you waiting for?
Dad, I wanted to tell you, but...
So you don't deny it. I knowed she was right. I damn well knowed it.
I'm talking to you.
A little bird been to see me, and she brought your wages with her. You're finished up the manor for good.
Mrs. Lugg.
How long did they think they could cover it up? Now every Tom, Dick and Harry in Chalford will know, and before long every bugger in Stroud will find out. Thee better get thyself a long way from here, my wench, or the shame will find thee out.
Shame? Jeff asked you if he could marry me.
Ah, and now we know the reason for it. Well, from what I hears, he's buggering off back to where he come from.
Ah, and that's where I should be going too.
Tain't far enough away for me.
Oh, I was hoping I could get him to stay here so I could be near our man. Now Ivor's gone.
Don't you speak that name to me. Hear me? He was worth 1,000 of thee and that Australian put together.
I loved our Ivor too.
Did you? And while him was out there serving his country, while him was cold in his grave, what was you doing? What was you doing? Bloody whoring yourself around the town with any randy chance with money to spend.
That's a wicked thing to say, and it's not true.
It gotta be true. Truth's there for anyone to see. And now you can bugger off on with him as put it there, if him don't run off without you. But you won't stay another night under this roof. Now get out! 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 You pack your bags and go off, or I do something.
If there's anyone leaving Frank Pope, it'll be thee.
What's that? After what she's done?
Your daughter. And we won't have no more talk of her going. Mind what I just say, Frank. She goes. I go. Do you hear me?
Are we going to hold our heads up in the town?
With us necks like us all's done. Now, I'm going to mash some tea.
Oh, you'll mash some tea. What's the vicar gonna say?
Bugger the vicar! There's one thing I can't abide about thee, Frank Pope. 'Tis when you puts on your holy Joe voice and whines about what's wrong with others. You went so flaming white theeself. I could tell a tale or two about thee. Now, you've had your 5 penneth and a fat lot of good it dead. It's my turn now. When the Lord did dish out the brains, thee must have been behind the door.
That's it then, is it?
That's it then.
Right then.
Oh, him'll come back when his belly does start to rumble.
Oh, Ma'am, I know what it looks like.
When did you last eat? No, I got a bit of loaf left and some ham. Or would you like a bit of Stilson's? I got a nice wedge off the rations s'morning. You're gonna need feeding up, my wench. Both on you.
How along now? Let's get this show on the road. Look to it. Pip, pip.
Keep your shirt on, Cobber. I was having a kip.
Cobber? Cobber? Is that the way you colonials address an officer? I'll have you know you're talking to Group Captain Jocelyn Weasley Wingflaps, Bottom Wetmore, FC, DFC, MC, VC, WCC, you for a G&T anytime, don't you know?
I'm Bruce, Corporal Bruce Mortis.
Mortis, eh? Well, Wigger Mortis. Don't you know you must always salute a British officer when you see one?
Of course I do. If they salute me, I always does it back. Ready for the off then, Captain Wingflaps?
Is this machine properly wigged?
Oh yes, Captain, it's properly rigged and ready.
Properly wigged and ready for a run?
It's properly rigged and ready for a run, sir.
Good, you're sure the old crate is really properly wigged and ready for a wheel whip roaring run. Excellent. By jingo, I'm frantic for a flip, don't you know what? Right then, Wigger Mortis, swing the old prop.
Petrol on.
Petrol on.
Ignition off.
Ignition off.
Underpants on.
Underpants on. Get on with it, man.
Contact!
Contact! Don't worry! I do this every day. All part of the job, don't you know? a poor aviator lay dying at the end of a white summer's day. His comrades were gathered around him to carry the fragments away. He spat out a valve and a gasket and stirred in the sump where he lay. And then to his wondering comrades these brave parting words he did say. Take the manifold out of me larynx and the butterfly valve off me neck. Remove from me kidneys the camrods. There's a lot of good parts in this wreck. I'll be riding a cloud in the morning with no rotary before me to cuss. So shake the lead from your feet and get busy. There's another lad wanting this bus. So stand to your glasses steady. This world is a world full of lies. Here's a health to the dead already, and hurrah for the next man who dies.
Get that down, you. Then it's bad for you, my wench.
Ma'am, I know what it seems
Can't
like.
do nothing about it now. 'Tis done, and that's it, and all about it. That's men for you. We'll sort it, my wench. Doesn't fret. We'll sort it somehow. Oh, who can that be? Dear God, what are you doing here? Ain't you caused enough trouble?
It's Ernie.
Ernie what?
Oh, God.
Ernie and Vic. There's been an accident.
Ern's dead. My Ern's dead.
So, that makes it a total of 35. Oh, not a great number compared with the 4 million, I know. But they were my responsibility. My boys. And I loved every one of them. These two, oh, they were very naughty boys. They had so much grog you could smell it in their blood. Didn't know their arse from their elbow when the engine stalled at 1,000 feet. They still might have made it had they been sober. But the final bit of bad luck was the kitchen garden wall at the manor, which they struck at great speed.
But seriously though, seriously folks, from all of us diggers to all you lovely Cotswold people out there, our heartfelt thanks. You've been fair dinkum, all right. So it's cooey and au revoir for the time being, if you see what I mean. But before we go, a little song to say that we will always remember the kindness lavished upon us here, and we'll be back like a shot if ever you need us again. Our farewell song, ladies and gentlemen, entitled Australia Will Be There, and we will be, folks. Don't you ever forget it.
When the brave boys of Australia heard Britain needed men to uphold the Empire's honour, did they flinch or falter then? Nay, nay, the gallant Anzacs were given a command. Side by side with British bulldogs, they fight for motherland. Rally round the banner of your country, take the field with brothers or the foam. On land or sea, wherever you be, keep your eye on Germany. But England, home and beauty, have no cause to fear. Should old acquaintance be forgot? No, 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 no. Australia will be there. Australia will be there. Have they proved their worth, the Anzac boys, battling for the...
They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old.
Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
There was a war on. Looking back on it, Jeff was right. It was a waste and a shame. Mam died in 1922. Broken heart, I reckon. And Dad? Well, he's gone now. They closed the airfield at Leiterton in 1921. Something about there being nasty pockets of air up there. Not much good for aeroplanes. Bit bloody late to find that out, I thought. I like to think these boys will still be remembered 100 years from now. They came from the other side of the world to help us out. It's the least we can do. We've had this service for him every Anzac Day for the last 10 years, and I always bring the boy. We called him Ernest Victor. He's not a bit like either of them, really.
He's an Aussie to his fingertips. Takes out after his dad.
This'll be our last service for a long time, though. We catch the boat tomorrow. I'm going to find out what all the fuss was about. Going to see what poor old Ernie missed. We're going down under.
We're going out bush.
Mind you, if it's not all it's cracked up to be, I'll be back like a shot.
It's time to go, Annie. It's time to go home.
On land or sea, wherever you be, keep your eye on Germany, but England home and beauty.
In Anzacs Over England by David Goodland, Miranda Pleasence was Annie Pope, Richard S. Huggett, Jeff Rylands, Ben Fox, Ernie Pope, and Jaime Robertson, Vic Walsh. Frank Pope was played by Owen John O'Marney, Lily Pope by Vivienne Moore, Colonel Toby Watt by Stu Cochrane, and Captain Les Driscol by Campbell Graham. Richard Hague was Darcy Jones and Beaumont, and Andrew Rattenbury, Ivor Pope and the Australian Airmen. The music was arranged and played by members of the cast. Anzacs Over England was directed in Bristol by Pat Trueman.
In France too, in the trenches, they still the Germans' guns. We are proud of you, Australia, and your brave soldier sons. Rally round the banner of your country, take the field with brothers or the foe. On land or sea, wherever you be, keep your eye on Germany, but England home and beauty have no cause to fear. Should old acquaintance be forgot? No, 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 Australia will be there.